So good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. So depending on what time you're watching this video. So welcome back to my class. And today we'll be discussing this P6 mock exam preparation worksheet 1. So as you know, we'll be preparing you for the mock exam for next week. And I'll be discussing this preparation worksheet so that we can just get some idea on how to do all these questions. Okay, I've given you this in the class, and I just hope you can just quickly go through it. You can mark it and also do correction if you are wrong. And just to remind you, make sure you mark using red pen and do correction using green pen. Okay, so first let's discuss this. Okay, I believe I take some time to actually discuss in class, but maybe I have not enough time to discuss all. That's why I'm preparing this video for you. Okay, so now let's look at the first question. Here says 30 to 26. Then the ratio is actually the same as something to 39. So as you know, we can't just add it like 26 actually plus 13 is equal to 39. That's why you plus 13 become 43. No, okay, this is not how it works. First thing we need to do is actually we need to simplify 30 to 26. If we simplify, it will be equal to 15 to 13. Basically, we divide by 2, divide by 2. And now, if you know it's 15 to 13, then 39, how can we make this 39 to be the same thing as 13 to 39? So we just times 3 here, it will become 39, then we times 3 here, so it will become 45 to 39. And we know the answer here is 45. That's why the answer here is 45. Okay. I believe that actually we have did this kind of question before, so it shouldn't be a hard one for you. Okay, let's move on to the next question. It's given that 30 plus 10 times 10 minus 2 divided by 5. Okay, as you know, when we do this, the order of operation is always come with parentheses first, times divide, then later plus minus. Okay, this is the sequence like this. And we always need to go from left to right. When I say left to right means if it's time, then divide, means times and divide. If the question order is divide then times, then you divide and times. Okay. So here say 30 plus 10 times 10 minus 2 divided by 5. So we know that it's actually 30 plus 10 times, the first thing we need to do is the parenthesis. So it's 10 minus 2, which is equal to 8. Then we divide by 5. Then the next step, we need to do times and divide first. And according to the sequence left to right, we need to do the time first. So 10 times 8 is equal to 80. Then we divide by 5. And as you know, we need to do the divide first. So 80 divided by 5, that's equal to 1. Okay, when you divide by 5, you should notice that actually it's equal to 16. And 30 plus 16, that's equal to 46. So the answer here will be 46. Okay, and that's all for question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. Here is asking them, what is the volume of 2 cm cube? Okay, 2 cm cube. Basically, you know that this is a 2 cm cube. Sorry, it's not like a cube. Let me just do it properly. Yeah, okay. This is the unit cube. And we know it's 2. If they say 2 cm, basically here means that here is 2 cm, here is 2 cm, here is 2 cm. So you should know that 1 2 cm cube is actually 2 times 2 times 2, and that's equivalent to 8. And if they say 3 2 cm cube, means that you need to 3 times 8, and we know it's actually 24 cm cube. And that is the answer, 24 cm cube. Okay, I believe this is something easy for you, but just to take note that when the question say 2 cm cube, and you should notice that this is 2 cm. When they say 2 cm cube, we should times 3. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Here says that 3/8 of Raymond's money is as much as 2/3 of I's money. Now, you need to express Raymond's money as the ratio of their total money. Now, it comes to total money. This is total one. So the first thing is we need to make this and this the same. Okay. As usual, we use bar modeling to solve it. But just in case, let me just show you the fraction way of solving it also. Okay. You have know exactly how to solve using bar modeling. Okay. So now we say that this 3 over 8 is the same thing as this 2 over 3. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure this on top, or we call it as a numerator, should be the same. So 3 over 8 and this 2 over 3. So we need to make sure that this and this is the same. That's why they say it's as much as, right? So we need to times 2 here, and we need to times 3 here. And as you know, if we times 2 with the numerator, the denominator we also need to times 2, and here it's the same. Then it will become 6 over 16, and here becomes 6 over 9. Now, we know that 6 units out of this 16 units is the same thing as this 6 units out of these 9 units, okay? Now, once we know that, the question here asks, express the Raymond's money as a ratio of the total. This is total. So what Raymond has actually is 16. And what this ice actually has is 9. Why? Because this is a total unit of Raymond. This is a total unit of ice. So we know that Raymond has 16, and their total amount of money actually is 16 plus 9. 16 plus 9, that's equal to 25. So the ratio here is supposed to be 16 to 25. 16 to 25. And that is actually the result. Okay. I hope it's really clear for you. And if you're not still not familiar with this method, feel free to use the bar modeling method that we have been explaining throughout the whole year for this concept. Okay. Let's move on to our next question. Question number 5. Question number 5. It says that the table shows the cost of doing gym at 2 different gym rooms. Okay, we have gym room A, we have gym room B, and this is the cost per hour. Given the first one is 5C plus $2, next one is 5C minus $3. Now, the first question asking, what is the price difference, actually we see, between the 2 gym rooms per hour? Okay, now we know the first one is 5C plus 2, and the next one is 5C minus 3. So 5C, actually, we don't need to care about it. We know that A is 2 more, B is 3 lesser than it. So actually, we know that the difference actually is 2 plus 3, and actually is $5 difference in terms of the price per hour. Okay, why? Because you can look at the number line example. Let me just show you the number line. 2 minus 3. Now, 1 is plus 2, 1 is minus 3. So for sure, the cost difference is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is the price difference or the cost difference. Okay. I believe it's easy for you. And that's for the first question. Let's look at B. Now, B. Moses has his gym at gym room A for 2 hours yesterday and 1 hour at gym room B today. What's the total price of he spent on gym in these 2 days? Find your answer in terms of C. Now, gym room A is 2 hours yesterday. Then 1 hour at gym room B today. Now, first thing you know is A actually is 5C plus 2. So if I have 2 hours of it, means that I need to use 2 times 5C plus 2. So 2 times 5C plus 2. And for gym room B, I have 5C minus 3. Since I'm using only for 1 hour, actually just 5C minus 3. Okay. So now, 2 5C plus 2. So you need to know that actually it will be 10C plus 4. Because I have 2 this one. So 5C plus 5C is 10C. 2 plus 2 is 4. Then I need to add 5C. Then I need to minus 3. As usual, we group these two together, 10C and 5C, and 4 minus 3. So 10C plus 5C, that's equal to 15C. 4 minus 3, that's equal to plus 1, because 4 minus 3 is equal to 1. And now we know that actually the price for A is $5 difference, and for B is 15C plus 1. And that is the answer for this question. Okay, I think it's kind of good and it's easy. If you feel it's a bit confusing, you need time to digest, feel free to pause the video. Okay, let's move on. The next one is about area. Now, here says find a difference between the shaded region. Okay, basically he actually means the area of the shaded region. Okay, now I want to find a difference between the area of the shaded region. You might be confused because usually they just ask what is the area of the shaded region. But now they are asking for the difference between the area of the shaded region. Now, I'm not confused. Just take a look here. I have two shaded regions. Now, I have two shaded regions. Now, I want to find the difference of it. Means that the bigger minus the smaller one. I think that's the difference. So let me just assume that this is A. Let me just assume that here's B. Let's assume here's C. Now, this is how I name it. Okay. Now, if they say find a difference between the area of the shaded region, means that my goal now is to find A minus B. That is the difference. And we use A minus B because we know A for sure is bigger than B. And there is a concept here. Now, if you look carefully, you notice that actually this is a rectangle. And if you look carefully here, is actually the triangle. Okay. Now, if I have the rectangle, it will be A and C. Is that correct? Yes. If I have the triangle, it will be B and C. Okay. And you'll notice something interesting. If I use the rectangle to minus the triangle, you notice that A minus B. So you have A minus B and C minus C. There's nothing. Means that now, since we are looking for A minus B, and rectangle minus triangle actually can give us A minus B, then we can just do it straight away. Okay. Now let's look for rectangle first. Rectangle will be what? The base times with the height. So it's 12 times 5, and that's equal to 60. How about the triangle? The triangle, as you know, is the base times with the height, and we need to times with half, or you can say divide by 2. So 12 times 5, that's equal to, if you simplify, it's equal to 30. And we know that, and we need to minus both of it. So the difference between the shaded region actually is 60 minus 30, and that's equivalent to 30 cm squared, as this is a 30 cm squared. That's all for this question, okay? And of course, if you notice that some key point here, actually you can straight away divide by 2, okay? But let's look for the more logical way so that most of us can understand, okay? I think it's fine for this question. If you're confused, feel free to watch it again and try to digest. And if still not clear, feel free to ask your friends that you know in classroom, or you can ask me personally if you really don't know, okay? So let's move on to the next question. Now, this next question talks about Charlotte and Jessica. Okay, let's look at here. Now, Charlotte and Jessica has 144 candies. Okay, if Charlotte gives Jessica 14 candies, then Jessica will have 5 times as many as candies as Charlotte. Okay. First, we know that here, Jessica have 5 times as many candies as Charlotte. So now, the ratio here now is 5, actually 5 to 1. Do you get what I mean? 5 to 1. So it means that in the total unit is actually 6 units. Do you get my concept here? Because Jessica has 5 times as many candies as Charlotte, means that 5 to 1 means that the total unit is actually 6 units. No, let's look at here. I know that Charlotte gives Jessica 14 candies. Means that the total number of candies here is 144. Does it changes at the end? No, right? Because they're still transferred in between. Means that it's still exactly the same even after the Charlotte gives Jessica 14 candies. So means that here is actually still 144 candies. Which means that this 6 unit, actually I also can say that it's equal to 144. Okay, and we know that 1 unit actually is equal to 144 divided by 6, and that's equivalent to 24 candies. Which means that now Charlotte actually have 24 candies now. Okay, but this is after. Okay. Now, the question here asks, how many candies does Charlotte have? Can I say that 24 is the answer now? Because Charlotte gives Jessica 14 candies already. That's why now Charlotte has 24. Can I just say that now? Now, this is the tricky part here. Now, just take note of this keyword, if. Okay. If Charlotte gives Jessica 14 candies, if, then Charlotte will have 24 candies. Okay. However, because they use the word if, means that this is not happening. This is not happening. But they are just putting that if I do this, then this will happen. But this is not happening. So this is what asking here is actually asking them what she actually supposed to have without any assumption here. If, okay, means that you need to find out no if. That is a situation that has no if. That's why here you need to use 24 plus with 14, which is the one because we do it based on if, that's why we get 24. But when you do want this if, then in this case we get 38. Means that actually Charlotte have 38 candies. If you give 14, then we have 24 candies. Okay, you get the concept here. Again, if I use the word if, means that that's not happening, but we are just assume that actually what will happen if we do that. Okay, and that is this question. Let's move on to the next question, question number 8. Question number 8. Here say Mr. John stacks some 1 cm cubes and glue them together to form the solid below. The volume of the solid below is 6 cm cube. Now, the keyword here is 1 cm cubes and 6 cm cube. We know that this is 1 cm cube, and I know the total volume of the solid here is 6 cm cube. Means that now I have 6 1 cm cubes in the figure below. Okay. Now, why this message is important? You might say, teacher, not important. We look at it, we know already, right? Yes, but not all the time, because sometimes the drawing doesn't show it. It's just something at the behind. Okay. So now we can just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, that's good. Now, draw the front and top view of the solid of the grid. As you know, front means from this part is front. So we can see that here's 1. Okay, let me just highlight here. We have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Okay, there is the part. So we know there's 3 at the bottom and 1 on the top. So actually we can just straight away draw. Okay, I'm not drawing it nicely. Okay, please forgive my drawing. It's hard to draw on computer. Yeah, basically, you need to know that it's 3 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Okay, please use ruler if you are drawing. Yeah, okay, please use ruler. Now, the next thing they are asking is actually to draw on the top view. Now, top view is here, but as you know, top view can be viewed like top, but can from any angle, right? That's why, again, you need to from the front and top. Again, when I say top view, means that it's from the front, then the top. So you can see they actually have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So basically, you can understand that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should have 5 five square basically in your top view. And we know it's 1, 2. Means that the first one is 1, then 3, then 1. So here you should draw something like 1, then it's 3, then is 1. Okay, my drawing is not that nice. Again, you use ruler, okay? Use ruler. And that's all for question number 8. That's all for question number 8. So let's move on to the next question. Now, here say an iPhone costs 20% more than a Samsung phone and 1/2 times as much as an Oppo phone. If the total cost of 3 items is 4,500, how much does the Samsung phone cost? Yeah. Firstly, if I say iPhone costs 20% more than a Samsung phone, which means that what? If I have iPhone here, I have Samsung here, and I have Oppo here. If I say iPhone is 20% more than Samsung phone, which means that if Samsung is 100%, iPhone will be 120%. If I put in ratio, it will be 120, 100. Okay. And now the next thing, an iPhone also 1/2 times as much as an Oppo phone. Which is that this one, I need to convert it to a improper fraction. Okay. So I times here, I plus here. Again, if you don't know how to convert, let me just teach you. 2 times 1 plus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is the improper fraction, 3/2. Okay. Then now, you need to know that this 3 represent the iPhone. Why? Because here say an iPhone costs 20% more and 3/2 as much as an Oppo. So here's a bit Oppo. Now, I know iPhone now is actually 120. So now this iPhone now is given here 3. So what should I do? I should times with 40. So 3/2, I times with 40 here, I times with 40 here. Then now I know it's 120/80. Means that now iPhone is 120. When iPhone is 120, Oppo will be 80. That's all. Then we know that this the proportion that we have in each of the phone. Now, O is 120, 180. Now, what's the total? The total is 120 plus 100 plus 80. And that's equivalent to 300. Means that 300% is equivalent to what? Continue to read. The total cost of 3 items is 4,500. Means that now 300% is actually equivalent to 4,500. Now, the question asking, how much is the Samsung phone cost? Okay, Samsung we know is 100%, right? So we just divide by 3. So 100% is 4,500 divided by 3, and that is equivalent to 1,500. And that's all. We are done with this question. Okay. Now, just in case that if you feel not comfortable seeing all this big number, you can always simplify it, and it's always okay. The same answer, actually, exactly same answer. Just that I try not to convert again to ratio. You might confuse. But actually, I try to do that sometimes or most of the times because I want to make it simpler number. Okay. Always depends on you. Okay. Just make sure you follow the concept here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This question is a bit tricky, but I think you have tried this question when you're doing your PSLE, the passive topical module. Let's try this. Here says that figure 1 shows a rectangle ABCD. Now this is the figure 1, ABCD. Figure 1, this is figure 1, with a length of 59 cm. So you can see that here to here is 59 cm. Now, the shaded region in figure 2, shows the remaining part of the rectangle after 8 identical isosceles triangles were cut off. The perimeter of perimeter of figure 2 is 156 cm longer than the perimeter of rectangle ABC. What is the perimeter of each isosceles triangle that was cut off? Okay, well, first you need to understand that this is the isosceles triangle. Okay, now this isosceles triangle, the perimeter, which means that here plus here plus here, is what the questions are looking for, the perimeter. Okay, so the first thing is that we know that the perimeter of figure 2 is like here, whole thing here, minus the perimeter of figure 1 is actually equal to 156. Okay, so let me first let you know that this is figure 2, this is figure 1, right? Now, if I say the figure 2, I want to minus figure 1, which is the perimeter here. I know that for sure, this part, let me just show you, this part, and this part, it's the same, right? That's why when you minus, it will go away. And we know that this part and this part, if you minus, it will go away. Now, means that this 156 cm long is actually the top and the bottom here. When you minus this 59, it will get 156. So I know that 156 is the length, the top and the bottom that is more than this A to B, D to C. So first I use 156 divided by 2. So let me just try out calculator, divided by 2, and that's equal to 78. Means that if I use here this zigzag part to minus this part, this zigzag part, I minus this part, it will give me 78. Okay. Now, this means that I want to find the length of this zigzag part. I will use the same thing, 78 plus width 59. Means that I will know the zigzag part. Okay. So 78 plus 59, and that's equal to 137. Now, I know that this part is actually equivalent to 137 cm. Now, if I know that this zigzag part, okay, is 137, then now if I add with this 59, then I will know all the perimeter of the 4 triangles. So I use 137 and add 59, and that will be equivalent to, let me just quick check using calculator, 196 cm, which means that now I found this zigzag, I add with this line AB 59, then I will know the perimeter of this 4 of the isosceles triangle, which is 196 cm. Now, the question here is asking that find the perimeter of each isosceles triangle. Means I only need 1. Now I found 4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need only 1. So I use 196 and I divide by 4. 196, I divide by 4, and we found the answer is actually 49 cm. And that is 49 cm. And we are done with this question. Okay, so far we are done with all of the questions here. If you need some time to go through it, feel free to pause it or watch it again just to make sure that you get the concept. Okay, this question 10, just in case you still can't get it, feel free to ask again. Okay. First step, what we are doing is we are looking for, we use 156 divided by 2 to get only one side because we know there are 2 sides here, right? Second, we are looking for this zigzag part, and that's why we add 59. Okay. Then we add another, again 59, because we want to have the total perimeter of these 4 triangles. Then we divide by 4 because we found this 4, but we need only 1. Okay. So I hope you enjoy this video. At least you can learn something. Make sure you do correction using green pen, and if you're right, just mark using your red pen. Okay. Thank you so much, and hope to see all of you again. See you, and bye.